right, I'm going to end the media day stuff. Oh,
there we go.
Oh, look at these guys.
Much better.
Is it time? Time for us to get going? I think it is time for us to get going. Oh, flex on him, Andy. I need the intro music. Tim, you can start recording now, my man. You can start recording right now. Oh, Andy Liu, the Warriors are back. Welcome to Light Years. Did that feel like the longest offseason ever?
It was one of the most. It was a rough offseason. It wasn't not the worst offseason, but from the loss to the trade to what's been going on since, I'm fucking ready. I'm ready.
It's time. It's time. We're doing this live on Playback. If you're listening to this on our pod feed, on our YouTube page, we appreciate you. We love you. Do what you got to do. But if you want to join the show, always come on Playback. We're going to be doing these all year here. We can get the goons on stage. We want to make this an interactive show. I feel like we have a chance to make this the show we always wanted to. The combination of YouTube, podcast, Spotify Live, all the elements that we wanted over these years. And I am hyped. I saw Chris Paul in a Warriors jersey. I literally deleted every negative thing I ever said about Chris Paul from my Twitter page. It took me a while. I'm all in.
Look, man, as people know, as the hardcore listeners know, some of our best times was, anytime the Warriors win, but the times when we had our fans able to dial in, right? And they would join us and we'd have a hell of a time whether the Warriors win or lose. And look, Playback is this is Sam's baby, man. You've been growing this thing. I'm locked in with you. I'm right there with you. I'm right there for you. Look, I just saw some fire on my face around this video. I didn't see it on yours, so I look better than you, obviously. Dude, I'm pumped up.
Relax,
let's go.
Relax.
Let's go, man. Let's get the goons on here. Let's get people locked in. The Warriors are, I would say, the vibes are pretty good on Media Day today, so I can't wait to talk about it. And let's go.
That's like my first takeaway. They feel so professional. Okay, the pessimist would say they look old. Optimist, Sam, good mood because he won the war, the 2-timeline war, will say, I don't know, man, they seem pretty locked in. Every player sounded like they had something to prove as far as I was concerned. None of them were happy with the way last year went, including Chris Paul for different reasons. He wasn't happy with the way Phoenix went for him. Steph, Draymond, Clay weren't happy with the way their season ended. And it sounds, I don't know, they said everything I would expect them to say today. And I'm going to lean with, I'm kind of buying it. I kind of think they are in a good spot.
I believe it. I know a lot of this is just PR. I know these guys were given a script.
It's
Raymond Ritter.
It's media day, man.
Right. Raymond Ritter was out there.
If you're not optimistic day one, it's going to be a bad season.
Well, it could be worse. I mean, look, we've seen some bad Warriors media days. We've seen the we can't have two small guard stuff. We've seen Steven Jackson kind of take control of whatever was happening back then. So, and last season we saw what happened with Draymond and Jordan Poole. Right? I should say mostly Draymond, and then what happened with Jordan Poole during the season. But that was pretty rough. Like, there are bad ways to start a season. And I think with how ugly it could be with a Chris Paul Warriors partnership, I think this was as good as it could. I think this was as good as you can imagine it would go with Chris Paul, who looked as happy as can be being a Warrior. I was pretty shocked that he looked happy. So
I liked it. I'm going to play some of his audio real quick before I lose track of it. Here he is talking about coming off the bench. This was the answer I know you liked.
The starting lineup question is coming. What? Yeah, right? What is? I guess you're just. How much does that matter to you?
For me, I actually had an opportunity in 2008 to come off the bench for the Olympic team. You know what I mean? And that went pretty well. And I think anybody who knows me knows that I'm all about winning. You know what I mean? Whatever I can do to help our team win. So I know coaching us, we're going to talk about it and see what it looks like. We've been hooping all summer, and I think, for the season, it's going to be whatever to help our team win. And I think I've at least tried to show or proven that my entire career. So, yeah.
I feel like that was everything I needed to hear. Look, they're going to say the right thing, but I like the fact they all have something to prove. For me, that's the main takeaway of the entire offseason. You've heard about the camps. Andy literally flew to Vegas with half the guys for one of their secret camps. In LA, we heard about with Chris Paul's 6 a.m. Southwest flight, like all this stuff. And ultimately, like, that's not winning you game 6 of an NBA finals. Like, you got to be good enough to do that. But that's the type of stuff that gets you off to a good start when everyone's bought into trying to figure out how to make it work out. And as we saw last year, if you have competing agendas across the board to start a season, your season's never going to get going. So for me, it's like step one. It feels like they're all bought in. Chris Paul's saying the right things. Draymond saying the right things. Oh,
I'm reading the comments.
I'll bring Ty up on stage later, but it seems to me like everyone's bought in, and that's the most important thing at this stage of the season.
Dude, he said, first of all, he made a joke, which I don't even remember the last time Chris Paul made a joke. Far be it someone to make a joke in a Warriors uniform, because you hated them. And then he talked about him coming off the bench in 2008? 2008, 15 years ago? 15 years ago for the Olympics team, which had all the best players in the world. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, oh my, he obviously had that one ready to go. He reached back in his memory bank and was like, yo, which is the one when was the last time I came off the bench?
Is that the only time he's come off the bench in the last 30 years of his life? Like he's 38 years old, same, respect. And I'm just sitting here. It's like, I can't imagine teams he's been on have had him come off the bench in general. So I'm just wondering, like, when he pulls out like I came off the bench once because they had Kobe and Jason Kidd,
like, yeah, dude, of course you come off the freaking bench. You're like 22 and you got all the superstars around you. Look, I get what he's saying. He's saying that I think given the right circumstance, he would if it helps the team wins. And I know we'll talk about this, but it might all just be for moot anyway if Draymond's going to be out for the first week or so. But it does sound like he is willing to come off the bench, and I don't know if that was the vibes when the trade was made a month ago. I felt like they gradually got him there, which, again, shout out to Steve Kerr. Shout out to Steph. Shout out to, I don't know if Draymond talked to him. Shout out to Draymond if so. Certainly Clay probably didn't talk to him, so not him, right? But shout out to some of the leaders of this team that I'm sure they had to. You don't just tell a 37-year-old Hall of Fame point guard that, hey, you're coming off the bench.
38. Don't round down.
Yeah, figure it out. Come off certainly not what you tell him. So I like how Chris Paul and the Warriors got here. It bodes well. Tim Kawakami talked about how they've been scrimmaging together. You talked about it as well. Chris Paul's been playing against the big three instead of on the big three, so it seems like he's maybe taken that bench role, talking about how great Kuminga has looked. I'm sure you have that quote queued up here in a second. So all that stuff feels it's amazing. They also talk about like their scrimmaging like they've never done it before. Like they've never scrimmaged ever in the last 10 years. But this offseason they are.
That's the other thing, because I remember when they were on the come up, it was like Steph and David Lee are organizing September workouts for the guys, and they got off to that hot start in 2012-13 and keep going forward and all that sort of stuff. And it was cool. You didn't hear about that once they became like a juggernaut. And, do they need to? If you're going to the finals, I don't need you working out in the summer. I need you rehabbing your body and getting straight. But this is like the first summer I've heard about the workout propaganda from this team. And it's been across the board. Like Steph's been talking about it. Chris Paul's been talking about it. Draymond's been talking about it. Clay doesn't talk, so it doesn't count. But, it's across the board. So we'll see. Like, they are small. They do have basketball questions we have to answer. But control what you can control, right? Like, get off to a hot start, and you don't have to worry, you don't have to worry about, we have to win this game because we lost to the Detroit Pistons and the Orlando Magic and a bunch of games we shouldn't lose. Like take care of your business and then you can figure out the deeper stuff later.
This team has a pretty high floor.
Mm-hmm.
I know we haven't watched them play, but come on, we know what these guys look like. Hell, we know what Chris Paul is going to look like. But this team has a pretty high floor, in my opinion. But again, if Draymond, falls on someone's ankle again and takes 2 weeks off, that's the problem with having a team that's older, right? So that stuff just happens. It'll happen with the Lakers too. It'll happen with the Suns, all these teams. But I do think, Sam, their variance isn't as high because I think a lot of these guys are who they are. And if they're bought in, we kind of know who they are. We know how good they can be. They might not be a championship team because I've got to see more, but you can't argue that this team right now with how they sound, how locked in they are, this is at least a second round playoff team right off the bat.
And my whole thing is take care of step one before we worry about step two. To me, like look, we talked about it all off season. I think Kuminga is the player who defines their ceiling, and we'll see where he ends up. Chris Paul had some positive quotes about him, and he's going to get some opportunities because it doesn't seem like Draymond's going to be full go in the early season, so he's going to get opportunities, period. And it's just kind of one of those things where it's like,
why do you think he has a smile on his face today? He's like, yo, I'm about to get some run, baby. He had the shooting sleeve on. I don't know why he has a shooting sleeve on. Never understood that one, but he's ready to go. It's his time.
He's gonna get his fit off. He's got gear to wear.
He was in where was he? You told me that he was in where? He was in
Milan.
In Milan for a fashion show.
Milan with our guy Ryan.
I couldn't understand it.
Making sure he looked good. Good
for Kuminga.
I want to throw this one out there from Draymond just because it was my favorite quote of the day.
I didn't know Chris at all outside of competing with him. If you've ever watched Chris compete, he's kind of an he may say the same thing about me. And that's okay. But he's also one of the most competitive guys that, I've played against over my 11 years in this league. I'm also an extremely competitive guy, and I'm not backing down from anyone. He's not backing down from anyone. That will bring some clashes, and it has brought plenty of them. When you look at the last 7-8 years in the NBA, Chris Paul is right at the center of all of it.
When will the first Draymond CP3 – okay, first off, the first game where they are tag team bullying an opponent, bring a tear to my eye.
It'll be a young team. It'll be the Orlando Magic when they play Orlando, an up and coming team. The Warriors,
my money's on Cleveland.
Houston. Oh, whoa!
I'm pulling up the schedule. They got OKC and they got the Cavs.
It's someone that they both mutually disrespect. Think they're a little overrated. It could be Memphis.
Oh yes, Memphis obvious, but Memphis, Jaws got an early season suspension. I'm just saying, Donovan Mitchell's going to say some things, and both of them are going to be like, "Who are you? Come on, relax." It's got
Donovan Mitchell.
It's got to be someone who gets a little under their skin.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going that way. My question for you. So let's get into this. We didn't really talk about it. Draymond, health wise, we got the report he's out potentially 3 to 6 weeks from our guy Jason Dumas,
who by the way is in the comments saying how he has a great Kuminga feature tonight on Kron in about 2.5 hours. So
yeah, everyone needs to watch that. That's our guy. What I was gonna say is, so Warriors say 2 weeks, which you and I both know means minimum 3.
Mm-hmm.
I meant they say reevaluate in 2 weeks. What does reevaluate in 2 weeks mean, Andy?
To me, normally for them, it tag on another week, right? At least
minimum.
Tag on another one, yeah, 3. Jason tweeted 3 to 6.
3 weeks is opening night. Reasonable chance he misses the start of the season. Also, a reasonable chance he plays. But if he plays, do you agree with me? He's going to be on minutes restriction. He's not going to start.
Interesting. I don't know if I agree with you. I think that's interesting.
Let me ask you this. If Draymond misses 3 weeks, but they clear him to play opening night, do you think Steve Kerr starts him?
I think they should, because if he's not ready to play minutes, then don't play him. Then just don't play him. I think that means he's not fully healthy. Just let him sit the first week of the season. To me, if he's healthy enough to play opening night, he should be ready to play.
Whenever he comes back, he's going to play 20 minutes, and then he's going to get ramped up. You know about that. So forget starting. Well, actually, no, don't forget starting. If he's playing 20 minutes, don't you think it's easier to bring him off the bench?
I personally, I don't, because I think that starting lineup needs to play. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't play him the first 6 minutes of the game and then play him the last 6 minutes of the first half, right? Like, it doesn't make any sense. He's sitting for almost an hour there. So yes, it does. It would make a lot more sense for him to come off the bench.
I think that's what's going to happen, and I think it will make Steve Kerr's job easier because it will force everyone to fall into line a little bit. That my theory, and TK said it on our last show, but my theory is Steve wants everyone to come off the bench a little bit just so that you can get over, like, it's the whole everyone's doing it a little bit so you can't get into your head too much about it. I don't know if he'll be able to pull it off, but I see the logic. You know, Draymond comes off the bench, Chris Paul comes off the bench, Clay comes off the bench. It all happens a little bit, and then everyone's thinks a little less about it. I think that's what he wants to do. I don't know if he'll be able to pull it off, though.
I think that's smart. I think in theory you're right, and I think Steve Kerr's right. And then, of course, yeah, you're right again. Is it actually possible to happen where, you know, the toughest part is I think Draymond might be willing to do it, actually. I can see him being willing to do it. He's got his money, too. And I think he's got
last year, maybe not.
Yeah, exactly. And he's got a little less leeway than a lot of these guys. Like, you know, he's made a lot more mistakes than some of these guys. You can also maybe argue he might be their second most important player, but he's got less leeway. But, you know, Chris Paul, will he do it? Sounds like maybe. Klay Thompson, I mean, we know about Klay. Certainly wasn't ever going to come off the bench for Jordan Poole. Will he do it, right? And then Looney, he would, right? And then Andrew Wiggins, you just never should have him come off the bench. It doesn't make any sense, regardless. So he doesn't count. You need him on the floor at all times.
He's the only defensive wing they have. So
he has to play.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you're kind of getting to the point where you're trying to say that Chris Paul is probably going to be in the starting lineup game one.
I think so. That's where I'm at with it, and I like him saying he's happy to come off the bench and do whatever it takes to win. It's going to be interesting how Steve manages it the whole way through, because talent-wise, adding Chris Paul makes them better than having Jordan Poole. Like, I think we both agree there. Even if you think he's old, even if you think he's like kind of washed. Do you agree with me on talent they're better?
I would say yes. Yes. The floor is higher. I would say maybe you can argue the ceiling's a little bit higher with Jordan Poole, but we watched that.
But all that matters is getting everyone to buy into it. Like, it's Chris Paul doesn't help you if he's a malcontent, you know? Like, just like Jordan Poole didn't help you when he was a malcontent, right?
Exactly.
So I'm curious how Steve plays it out, but I feel cautiously optimistic. I like the way they're all talking about it. It's day one. If you're not in a good mood on day one, you're not going to be in a good mood all year. And I see you, Gios in the chat. I know you're not going to be in a good mood all year, but it's, I'm buying. I am buying right now. I'm feeling very good.
I've got a buy. I've got a tiny buy. I'm not buying much, but I've got a I've got a limit buy. You know what I mean? Like, it's a certain amount. I'm taking it. But I don't got everything in yet. But they do sound. I am a little surprised at how locked in they sound. Saric, Chris Paul, obviously. Draymond had a ton of stuff to say, ton of quotes. We just heard that. Just everyone seems like they are forging towards one place. Even Clay, and we're gonna get to him, talked about like, hey, maybe an extension is possible. And I'm like, what? Really? Seriously? And so it just sounds like there's no agenda from a lot of these players this season, and we've seen a lot of. We've seen the disease of more stuff from the Warriors a few times now from several different players. Don't see that this season yet.
No, they're at least starting on the right foot. The other takeaways, like Dario Saric, perfect warrior off the bat. Steph talking about how he just randomly goes into DHOs mid game, and I'm just sitting there, I'm going like, Andy's about to text me about this. He's just gonna be so excited, just straight orgasm. And then
good.
Rudy Gay feels like he's gonna make the team. But I said that
about
Avery
Bradley.
Why do you say that? I said that about. First off, how many times have the Warriors tried to get Rudy Gay?
I mean,
bro, they've been trying to get Rudy Gay before you and I were even friends.
Yeah.
So
before
I mean,
we're even born.
We're going decade plus back there, and he does kind of fit what they need, which is a big forward who maybe they play at the 4-5. Who's smart more than anything. We'll see. I mean, he
looks good in the Warriors jersey, man. I tell you what, he looks good in the Warriors.
It's just because you've seen photoshops for a decade.
It's good. It's a good fit. Rudy Gay is a good fit. I am all in on the Rudy Gay fit. Look, he's a winning player. He's become a winning player. I wasn't a big Rudy Gay fan in his athletic prime because I just thought the way he played wasn't. It felt to me.
He was a little too much of a shot hunter.
A little bit too much of a Brandon Ingram, your boy. Just a little too much. Not a number one option. Maybe
future
not
warrior Brandon Ingram.
Chat
Chaco and Antoine Jameson.
Oh,
it's honestly not a terrible comp.
Rudy Gay was better defender, and now he's bigger. I mean, you talked about big four. I mean, he's going to play some 5 hilariously because everyone on the Warriors, when they come in as a 4, plays the 5, right? So maybe he can do some facsimile of what Otto Porter was really good at 2 seasons ago. He's not as quick, all that stuff. But like they need 10, 15 minutes from him in the regular season. He's willing to play that role. He's going to hit a 3 here or there. He's going to grab some boards. Like I'm not asking for the world from him. I think he could be. I think he could be helpful, man. I don't think he's some impact guy, right? Like Otto Porter, but I'm all in on that one. I am all in on the Rudy Gay one. Give me a vet that knows how to play basketball. I think I'm all in on him like I was all in on Dwight Howard. Maybe the vets will convince the front office on this one. Maybe they'll figure this one out.
I just want to see. I'm intrigued by it, but for me, everything's about Kuminga this season. Not everything.
A lot of things.
Well, I think he's the defining piece for them, honestly. Like, he takes that year 3 step, and then you have that front court guy with athleticism and size who can complete a lot of their small ball lineups and do the things Harrison Barnes did and that sort of stuff. And if he doesn't, it's kind of an awkward fit across the roster a little bit.
Did you see what a certain San Antonio Spurs wing got paid today, Sam?
That was a good player, though, dude. I thought more about Moses Moody when I saw that one.
I did.
Yeah,
exactly.
Devin Vassell got solid 30 a year for 5 years.
So I thought
I love Moses' point more like 29 mathematically.
146, 104. I was just gonna say I thought it was 156. Whatever, same thing. Same thing with your him, not for me and you. But I think I thought of Moses Moody as well, and that's why I'm saying I feel like we're talking a lot about Kuminga when Moses Moody is probably the better bet to have a breakout. He's the guy that
he is, but he doesn't play the position I need to. I mean, both things are true, just to be clear. But yeah,
they need both those guys. They need both those guys to have a breakout season. I just think it's a lot easier for Moses Moody as a player to break out and fit this team at the same time. Kuminga's breakout seems a little more narrow. It seems a little more like, can he do X and Y? Where Moody's like, I could probably do like 6 different things pretty well and help this team. And Kuminga's like, he could do some things well, but can he do these 2 things really well? And we're not sure if he can rebound and play team offense.
Yeah, but if he does those 2 things well, it's way more valuable than what Moody does. So
yeah, at least I know Moody's going to get there. That's
true.
I know Moody's going to get there.
I'm going to just a quick reminder: if you want to call into the chat, log into a Playback account, hit the bell. Time to get to the goons. Is it time to get to the goons?
Let's go.
I think it's time. So hit the bell if you wanna call in. Otherwise, we got our first caller here.
Of course we do,
Mr. Mike Mikas.
Of course.
Hey folks, how we doing tonight?
We're good. How you feeling?
I'm I'm feeling great. I mean, I just watched Daniel Jones get turned into a sausage on live television.
Turn into.
I mean, he is. You're right. I mean, the 11 sacks. I mean, that was tough to watch. Oh my God, how are we feeling about this season, boys? I'm feeling great. I think I'm leaning more on the Sam side than the Andy side here personally, but I don't know.
They all come back on my side. They all come back. You know, no one wants to be a curmudgeon. Mr. Positivity.
I have an apt 49ers metaphor, and I guess thinking about the team. Draymond just has to be Nick Bosa. You know,
are you calling Chris
Steph
Paul
just has to be Christian McCaffrey.
Wait for it.
Kevon Looney just has to be Trent. You know, Wiggins, Ayuk, Clay, Debo. Can Chris Paul just be a bus driver? Can he just orchestrate a beautiful offense? All these weapons around him. He's never had talent like this around him. Can Chris Paul just not crash a beautiful Ferrari and get them a title? That's my question.
Who are you? Oh yeah, wait. Are you calling him? Are you asking him to be Brock Purdy?
I'm just asking Chris Paul to be Brock Purdy. Just don't destroy the game plan. Don't mess up this beautiful chemistry the team has. Look, Jordan Poole, a little Jimmy Garoppolo, most beautiful man in the Bay. You know, all the hoes love Jordan Poole. All the hoes love Jimmy Garoppolo. We ship him out to another part of the country. We'll see how he looks. Brock Purdy coming in. Can he just orchestrate a beautiful offense?
I can't disagree with this analogy. You know,
I like it.
Jordan, Jimmy, they're definitely, they play to the crowd.
Little turnover prone.
Jordan's won a championship though. You know, Poole's done it at the highest level. He was in Boston getting after it. You know, Jimmy, we know what Jimmy does.
Overthrew
Jimmy was getting after it in Boston too. Just to be clear. So.
Jimmy did beat Dallas in Dallas, you know.
He did.
For you, Mikas, for you. That threw a bad pick, but
I don't hate the analogy. You know, also Brock a little undersized, Chris a little undersized. So
I think the people love the CMC Steph one. That's a good one. I obviously Steph's a lot better than what CMC is. Steph would be a quarterback. That's who he is, right? But hey, what do you think about this weekend's matchup? What about that? What about that?
Look,
Niners -3.5.
I can't say anything. The thing is, I understand when you lose 2 times in a row, head down. I'm not focused on the Patriots. I'm not focused on last week. You know, heads on San Francisco. I can't say anything. I want to talk shit. I do, but until I actually see them win a game, until I actually see them beat the 49ers, what can I actually? How can I act like I got to see them do it? 49ers are the best team in the league. The Eagles, not scared about them. That's a fraudulent team. That's very.
Wow.
Mikas is going to walk into the playback next Monday if the Cowboys win, looking like Chris Paul in this outfit.
Oh yeah.
Look, Jalen Hurts is a little Tatum-esque. Like, can he dribble to his? No, can he dribble to his left? Can he throw the deep bomb like when he's 3rd and 11, like when he's under pressure? I'm not scared of the Eagles. 49ers, that's a team I don't want to fuck with. Cowboys need the 1 seed because I'm not trying to see the 49ers in the playoffs. I will show respect. Hopefully we beat you guys this week, but I got to see him do it until I can actually say it'll happen. So that's my take there. I'm pulling for him, but it is what it is.
Appreciate you, Mikas.
Love Mikas.
Good season, boys. Let's get it.
As you all know, let's keep moving.
I did not expect.
Get Ryan up here. Wow. Ryan, typically my leadoff hitter. It's been a moment though.
Boys.
What's up, my man?
It's been a while, brother.
Mika's talking all that smack with Kirk Cousins as his quarterback. Literally black Kirk Cousins as quarterback. He's talking about Jalen Hurts when his quarterback hasn't won a divisional playoff game.
It's kind of fair. Pretty fair. Pretty fair. No one's really worried about that.
Purdy on a rookie contract or Dak Prescott on $55 million?
I mean, objectively. I think Brock might be better, like just in a vacuum. So I don't know. Don't even have to talk about the money.
Don't worry. They got Trey. He'll get in there.
The Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl, let alone get into the NFC Championship games since Mikas has been alive and he talks like this.
Oh, my Niners haven't, so I can't.
Relax.
Game. My Niners haven't won anything either in a while. But
Ryan, where's your optimism with the Warriors this season?
So here's my take. The ceiling on the team is Jonathan Kuminga. Wherever Kuminga is where the team is going. Because he is really the piece that lets them unlock these interesting playoff lineups with versatility. Because as much as you want to say these veterans are going to be the game-changing pieces, it's realistically Kuminga. Wherever he is where the team is. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it comes down to. And I think, well, you know what? Do you remember last preseason where Kuminga had that showout game against the Nuggets?
Denver? Yeah.
And I was just like, so like, oh, it's happening. He's gonna be that small ball piece. And then he promptly never got off the bench for like 15 games in a row. So I don't want to like overreact to it, but I do feel like he has opportunity here. I think he has opportunity.
And the way the veterans are talking about him this year versus last year is a stark contrast where they're all saying like, this guy has literally been locked in the gym, like locked in it. Chris Paul has said it. Draymond said it. Even Dario Saric, who doesn't say anything really, said he's been locked in the gym. He's been on the team for 3 months.
I'm gonna be the one that is the bad guy here because I'm an asshole. But a lot of good juju, a lot of talk, a lot of blabber. I remember what they were saying about James Wiseman. You know, they called him an amazing basketball player.
Let's not compare.
They always talked about Wiseman's. The Wiseman talk was always different because it was always like in a, oh, he's not
They're babying him. They were babying him.
A million reps away. But he's athletic with Kuminga. He's athletic and he probably should be able to contribute right now. With Wiseman, there was always he's 1,000. Like anyone but Bob Myers and Joe Lacob were saying he's 1,000 reps away from being 1,000 reps away.
Don't throw a fit. You forgot Fitz in there. But I will say this. Here's the other positive case for Kuminga. He's the only one on the roster.
Yeah.
That like they've built a roster where it's like we have one guy we're trying to coach up, which I think is easier than having 4 or 5. Doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Sure.
But it's like, you know, they kind of all realize like we need him to play one role and we're all committed to getting him there. Whereas like, didn't you feel like Steph, Draymond, those guys were like, dude, they put like a bunch of college players on my team, and I just don't feel like dealing with this. Throw Anthony Lane.
It's true. I mean, it's true. They had to deal with Wiseman and then Poole and then Kuminga to varying degrees of levels of success for all of those guys. And I think he just plays a style of ball that's so different than what the Warriors do. I have to see it. I am with you. I believe it to an extent. But I am not going to say that it's going to happen.
Andy trying to out-immigrant dad me.
He just doesn't. He doesn't play the style of basketball that the Warriors play. He doesn't. And that could be a good thing because the Warriors need more Kumingas. They do need more of someone that can put pressure on the rim, that has that level of athletic. They need that. I'm not saying they don't need that. But I got to see it. I just got to see it first.
Yeah, I think if you take out the first 15 games last year where he was playing next to JaMychal Green and James Wiseman as a small forward, the numbers look pretty encouraging, and he had some great moments. For example, that December game against Jason Tatum, the one against Luka Doncic. He had fantastic performances last season in a suboptimal setting, and he has proven he could play Warriors basketball. It's just about buying into consistently playing Warriors basketball, which is something that as a young kid it's hit or miss, but now it's do or die for him. And this is really the season where he has to show that, hey, I am the piece that I was drafted to be, because his contract extension is coming up too. Like, this is a very important season for Jonathan Kuminga and the Warriors. So it's both interests sort of aligned there.
$150 million Devin Vassell just got. Can you imagine? What was Moody and Kuminga texting about today?
They were texting about Steve Kerr playing him 12 minutes a game when Rudy Gay is at 18 minutes a night, baby.
That's exactly.
I think, we'll see. By the way, we got first preseason game Sunday. Ryan, appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. See ya.
Have a great evening.
Saturday
evening. 5. Are we calling 5:30 the evening?
Yeah, maybe not because sun's still out. So Saturday afternoon.
Saturday twilight.
Come December, Saturday evening. That's for sure.
Let's go.
Yo.
Ty, what's up, brother?
What's going on? How y'all boys doing?
Yeah, new mic and everything.
Nah, it's the same old mic, man. You got a terrible memory.
Trying to gas you up.
Where's where are you at right now? Opening day
I'm
one
still
of
in
camp.
LA. Still in LA.
Oh, that's not what I was asking, man. But I knew that. But I was gonna say,
shit.
where's your optimism level with this team right now? Where's your head at? I know I know you're not drinking the Chris Paul Kool-Aid like me, so I need to know where your head's at.
I mean, look, the man's a known basketball Republican. He goes against the spirit of the game. It irks my soul that he's on my team. It hurts. It really does. I guess where I'm at, and part of the issue is, he's in his 39th year on this earth. And, trying to play NBA basketball into May has never been a thing that he's, particularly excelled at. But kind of similar to what Ryan was saying, I think it's all on JK and Moody anyway. They're going to have to be like, because Chris Paul can't start or close. Like, he's small and he's old. What happens if, like, he plays against Sacramento and they have him, like, running from baseline to baseline? He's not going to do it. He probably can't do it. He'll tweak a hammy and be done. Like, and that's okay. Like, that's not his role. And that's why we got Corey Joseph too, I guess. But I don't know.
Also just tweaked his back, by the way.
Right, yeah,
Old.
Love what Rick Celebrini's got on his plate this year. With all that being said, we're about to win a chip, so fuck all that.
Walk me through this cognitive dissonance, because that's where I'm at right now. So on the one hand, I know how you feel about Chris Paul. You just let the world know how you feel about Chris Paul. But I need to understand how the Warriors are going to overcome that.
So here's my real issue, right? Is that whenever the like, okay, how's Chris Paul going to fit? Or like the questions come, the answer is just, he's really fucking smart. And like, man, that works. But like in sports, you kind of got to be good at sports too. And like, we're already small. But the multiple ball handler thing, not to go back on what I just said, but he is actually really smart, and you do need, smart basketball players to excel in the system. Hopefully he can bring the best out of the young guys, and maybe, Draymond said he could learn a thing or two. Maybe he'll learn not to punch young guys, and if he does, maybe he'll learn, back to the camera and do something. I don't know. But yeah. I believe in Steph. I think he's, the best player in the league still. Him or the doughy Serbian. So, like, as long as he's not too fall off.
Can we have an honest conversation about how the Greek guy is not as good as those two guys?
Yeah,
because I'm getting a little tired of the Giannis.
Yeah,
you probably. I know you missed a couple games, but you probably shouldn't have lost to the Heat that way. You probably shouldn't have.
It's the second time now that he shouldn't have lost to the Heat that way.
If I'm looking at his entire career, I kind of only see 1 year where he didn't have a disappointing playoffs. It's a lot of that one time things went right, but mostly not. And, maybe I'm being a hater, but I am firmly anti the Milwaukee Bucks this year.
Steph has proven a lot more. I'll let you I know you're ready to get your Bucks take off, but Steph has proven a lot more consistently than a lot of these guys. Just all the time, every time. And because he's 6'2", and he's shorter than a lot of just normal people out there, it is not possible for people to say. I don't even think it was unanimously said that Steph was the best player in the world after the 2022 NBA Finals. And after the season, people couldn't wait to crown Nikola Jokic as the best. Could not wait.
Or 2 years ago when the Bucks won, it's like, oh, that's the best player in the league.
Sure.
But when the Warriors win, when Steph goes into the Boston Garden and puts up one of the most iconic performances you will ever see, it's a lot of the culture.
Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sitting here going
off.
Andrew Wiggins can't dribble with his left hand. Relax, guys.
Yeah.
So, although it doesn't need to be helpful.
Great series. Great series objectively, but come on.
I was there in February 2021 when Kelly Olynyk stripped Andrew Wiggins on like 2 straight possessions and a loss to the Rockets. Like I was there. I was there. But
Andrew Wiggins showed up to media day today. I thought that was interesting. I felt like we haven't heard from him in like no. I'm just I'm saying like we don't hear from him.
I thought it was interesting he showed up to work.
He showed up. He's like Clay. I just feel like we never
little change of pace. Show up to work.
It's nice to see Andrew Wiggins.
He didn't have to, clearly.
Do you have to? Hey, you know what? He was there. He looked happy. He looked good.
You know what? Like, I'll be the first to go there, but I will say, throw him on the list of players who I think has a little extra to prove this year. And like, I don't mean it in terms of like, oh, Skip Bayless said some stuff. I think he was just unhappy with the way last year went. And I think he just wants to hoop a little more. You know, like, we know Steph feels that way. We know Draymond feels that way. Clay definitely is unhappy with the fact that, you know, he's out of shape.
I hope he was fucking unhappy.
Yeah, exactly. They all have something to prove. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even like, it doesn't have to be more complicated than, you know, pro athletes are competitive, and sometimes the season doesn't go the way you want it to. And I think that's playing in the Warriors' favor. More than
not for nothing, there's no juggernauts. Like, let's be honest. Like, there's no juggernauts in the league. Like, Drew went to the Celtics. That's amazing, right? But okay, and Dame in the Bucks is cool. Hey, we'll see what happens at the end of that. You know, I'm sure the good folks over at Nike have some lines written already. You know, we'll see what happens with that.
Hey, Adidas too. Don't worry.
Hey.
They got their campaigns ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, hey, but I think the fact that, you know, Denver lost Bruce Brown, you know, we'll see what Christian Braun can do. The Suns, they have no point guard. I'm not really sure what they plan to do with that. There's nobody you look at and go, all right, that's a prohibitive thing, right? Mm-hmm. The Lakers are a tough matchup just because we're small, but I like Garuba, I like Gay, I like all of that. And if Moody and Kuminga can do a little something, and, you know, we can hit some shots and not fall all over the court, you know, in crunch time, yeah, maybe we got a shot.
Yeah.
Ty, appreciate you, my man.
For sure.
Much love.
For sure.
Oh, why do I have balloons? Look at me. Look at me.
Know, people like you.
Objective fact. Oh, now I got the snow. Come on. Oh, we want to get to the next one? I was going to get a takeoff. But
Get a takeoff.
I just, you know, people ask me like, hey, do you think the Warriors have a chance? I agree with Ty. Every single one of these teams have so many flaws. Just, there are no Warriors, you know, KD Warriors. There's none of that team. There's no, like, that Houston Rockets team was so good. There's no LeBron, Kyrie, or those Cavs. Like, even last year's Denver Nuggets, I don't think they were unbeatable. Now, they could win it again this year. I don't think it'd surprise you and I, but I don't think any of these teams are unbeatable, man. What's up, brother? We got the old school Warriors jersey going on.
Is that Larry Hughes?
That's Larry Hughes, bro.
Oh,
Larry
I
Hughes.
still got it. I would be disappointed if I couldn't tell off the number. And
that's Larry Hughes, bro. Come on, man. This is I heard it's media day, bro, so I had to bring something out, but
we are locked in. Everyone who knows us knows this is the most optimistic you're gonna hear Andy or me all year. Andy didn't even sound optimistic. But me, I'm just pure copium.
This is prime. This is my favorite time of the year. I feel like when the Dubs got an early summer, I had an early summer. I was working out, I was sleeping early. I've read a few books.
Oh, whoa. Hold on. What book?
I read Eat, Pray, Love? Like Bob Myers?
I just read a bunch of these like little these little finance books, like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, all that shit again. I just read that again because I had to read books that I've read again for some reason. But bro, I'm gonna lose all this time in peace once the Warriors.
Did you read a book or did you read an Instagram post?
I read.
Or was it an audio book? Did you listen to it?
No, dude, I read it, bro. I read it, bro. Okay. I read that.
Was it a real paper or was it a Kindle?
It was the paperback, bro.
Hey, yo, let's go.
That's a OG. I had to break a mental sweat, bro, because after that season that we just saw, I had to do something, man. I was so bored when I couldn't even tell you who was in the finals. I didn't watch one game. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Yeah. I was pissed.
Yeah, you didn't see Caleb Martin go on in game 2?
I couldn't even tell you anything about the finals. I was in Hawaii and I was just like, fuck this, man.
Yeah.
Pissed. We need our get back, dude.
Yeah.
Where's your optimism level going into the season? Give me your media day take. How happy we?
I mean, I love it. I feel like the content now is so different. Like media day last year, you had the mini mic and it was like, hey, Steph, say this without saying that. Or it's like, hey, we're going to play that game where we clap. Now it's all like, hey, Chris, how do you feel about this? Everything's so serious. We're like the
old.
new Spurs, bro.
Oh,
We're grown up. Yeah. There's no more Gen Z TikTok dances. There's no more, I'm down.
Kind of like that. I kind of like that.
There's not a 23-year-old social media intern being like, hey, Steph, do the dance. Do the dance for the kids. No.
Hey, Steph, do the dance. We didn't see no mini mics. This year was just all. We had Dario Saric saying, I like to play with Steph because, he liked to shoot ball. I like pass him ball. I was like, bro, we have the fucking villain from Creed. Oh, my God.
Great villain. Although he turns out he had a little redemption moment.
Exactly, bro. He's now on the winning team. But I love this, man. Only thing that'll make this better is, I wish we could have got Dwight. But, I was watching some old Dwight Howard content, and I'm just like, you know what? That's not really the guy we want. He says he puts on, 6 colognes before he hits the court. I was like, that's kind of weird, bro.
Look, that dude is.
Do you think he told Mike Dunleavy, I only put on 2 now?
He's like, hey, Mike, I'm going to keep it to 1, all right? I'm going to send you the content. He has. I'm going to send you the link. And he's like, yeah, I love to smell good before the game. I was like, bro, you might be the first guy anyone's ever hooped against. It's like, damn, you smell how good he was? And I bet you Steph and Draymond wasn't fucking with that. They were 6 a.m. at the UCLA football field. And they're like, bro, this guy smelled great at 6 in the morning. Hell no.
What cologne did Chris Paul put on before a Southwest flight at 6 a.m.?
Chris Paul smelled like the bag of peanuts they give you because that was his vegan pre-workout.
Oh, I forgot about the Chris Paul. He for sure asked for multiple free pretzels. That's it for sure. No. What he does on a flight.
He basically said, what premium drinks can I get with this drink coupon? But I don't drink. So do you have any options that are this and that? But can I redeem these? And
I can get vodka,
flight.
but I can't get kombucha? What? Vodka's more expensive than kombucha. Come on,
Southwest flight, you're not getting kombucha. He's asking for it, though.
No, Chris Paul for sure takes those little personal bottles of booze. He tosses it and fills them up with kombucha so he could save a few dollars. And he just knocks them shits back.
Oh God,
it's crazy, bro. I just love that he's on our team now. I scrubbed all my fuck CP3 tweets. All of them are gone. So me and Sam, man, we're clean. I don't know about you, Andy. We're good.
Oh no, I'm leaving those babies in because you know what happens if the Warriors lose a game, my tweet's gonna be hitting. I will be blaming Chris Paul the moment they lose a game, but they win though. I'm back. They win though. I'm back.
I love this year. It's gonna be fun.
Can we admit that this is the year we need? Look, we tried the 2 timeline thing. Gen Z is not for us. Sorry.
I don't think Gen Z's for anybody. Holy shit.
It's for the Thunder. It's for those teams. But I'm just sitting here. This is the return of the geriatric millennials. This is our last stand before they officially destroy us.
This is the end of Avengers Endgame when they all come back.
Yeah.
So hopefully they win or something, man. Because man, vibes were not good last year, man. Fucking Anthony Lamb's unemployed now. That's pretty sick. He just fell off the face of the earth. I tried to find him on Instagram. Nothing.
He's just in Serramonte. He's just in Serramonte.
He's just working the kiosk at Serramonte. Hey, sir, would you like to switch to Verizon for free iPhone? Crazy, bro.
I don't know. The only Anthony Lamb content I saw this summer was him test driving sports cars at Serramonte. I don't know what that was all about, but
Damn, he's taking a page out of Russell Westbrook, man.
I bought a car there. I'm just saying, the vibes fit.
See, that's how you do it. Whenever they say the NBA is not forever, you got to pick up a side hustle. Maybe he just want to sell sports cars at Serramonte, bro. Yeah. That's what's up.
He was selling on the court, so
he's selling for show.
Yeah, well, good luck.
Happy Monday, boys.
Lau, appreciate you as always. Have a great evening, my man.
You too, guys.
I'm inviting on
balloons again.
The world's biggest pessimist, Giovassa.
Here we go.
Am I clear?
You're good. You're good. You know I'm going to kick you off when you get too grumpy.
How's it going?
Fire it off, brother.
Give me your most optimistic take on the season.
I trust Steph. I think Steph is that guy. I think Steph will probably figure it out sooner or later. Right? That's my best take. And my other take is it's all on JK. If JK doesn't actually is good this season, I don't think it matters really. He's not good. It is what it is. You move on, right? But my thing is right. Besides winning the chip, guys, what's the most positive season you got? I guess could think of.
No, there's no. I'm glad you asked this. There's no positivity around winning outside of winning a chip. This team has won 4 titles with this core. Andy and I aren't going to be like, man, spirited second round run. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not saying it's fair to hold them to chip or bust standards. They might not have the roster. But when you've seen Steph hold 4 of them up, I'm not going to celebrate a second round team.
I think there is one. And again, I think it's pretty narrow. I think there's one way this season is successful if they don't win a championship. I think if Kuminga ends up being a really good, almost a superstar type player, and let's say they somebody gets hurt, they don't shoot very, whatever, maybe they run out of gas, but you come out of the season and you're like, holy shit, Kuminga is a dude. We're gonna have to play. The Warriors are gonna have to pay this guy $200
million. If he's good though, they win. If he's good this season, there's no way they lose.
It's year 3. It's year 3.
If he's good, they should win.
I think I'm with Gio on this one, but I can see Andy's point. I think it's Andy's point where Kuminga shows out he's an all-star, but some weird things happen and they don't win a title.
My thing is right. Go on. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say you go into next season and he's in year 4. I mean, that's just a player that is probably going to be ready to win and take over games while Steph and Clay are sunsetting. I think that's probably the only thing. It's narrow because, like you said, if Kuminga is going to be that good, they probably are good enough to win a championship. They probably maybe lost in the Western Conference Finals or something like that. But I would say that's the only way you could define the season as success if they don't win.
Yeah, but if they lose though, why bring everyone back in next year though? Why bring back Steve or Clay?
We're just playing too many hypotheticals.
I know, but it's
sure.
I think it's fellas.
I got news for you. Clay's coming back.
He is coming back, of course. Yeah. But I'm just saying, it's all about how they lose, though, right? They have to lose in a specific way
we're gonna end on this.
Yeah,
Gio, appreciate you, brother. Keep moving. Tashion,
I was ready for more.
I know you're ready for more, but we got people to get to. We got a guy, Tashion. What's up, man?
What's up, brother?
You're on mute, by the way.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. It's been a minute. How you doing?
I was doing some work with some residential construction jobs, and long story short, I never want to see shingles for the rest of my life. I never want to see that shit. But my optimistic take is not to be Gio. He's a lost brother. But my optimistic take is he is our guy. My optimistic take is I think we match up better against the Suns a lot more than people probably originally think. It's like we have GP2. We already saw what he did. He put Devin Booker in hell while he was healthy during Christmas Day. And that was when we had basically 6 people and a couple of people from the G League. And so now that we got GP2 back, Wiggins can guard Kevin Durant because apparently he lost a step against. I can't believe that Celtics series. They stole all his powers in the playoffs. It's hilarious, personally, but it is what it is. And so now that we get to see Bradley Beal be a fake third option, it's And now that they have Nurkic, it's like they have no rim protection. Their point of attack defense stinks. It's like I am more optimistic against the Suns when the season goes along the way, when Joku figures it out. It's probably going to be hilarious when Joku tries to guard Kevin Durant on opening day and he just looks awful at first, but then he's going to get a lot more reps and just figure it out eventually, because I think he's going to be sniffing at fringe all defensive teams consideration. That's my optimistic take on Joku. So, but
I like it.
Man,
I like it.
As long as we don't see the Lakers, I do not need that heartache again. I really don't.
I like it. Oh,
all right, take it easy, guys.
Appreciate it, brother. Should we keep moving? What is it, Andy?
Fuck me. Fuck. Oh, I can't believe I did that. I cannot believe I did that. Classic boomer move. But I was saying I like his Kuminga's defense. If that's one thing that's super projectable on this team, it's it's just how elite he's going to be defensively, or can be defensively. And it's like Anthony Edwards. I think that's someone to think about. I think Anthony Edwards' off-ball defense leaves a lot to be desired. But when you're that good, when you can be that good on ball as a wing, which is pretty much like the most important thing, because nobody's stopping these guards. It's just impossible. But there's so many great wings out there. You're gonna have to go through LeBron, Kevin Durant, Jamal Murray, even as a guard. But like, if they can get him to be as good defensively as Andrew Wiggins, shit, man. I don't care if he tries to dribble into a pull-up for no reason every other possession. That's okay. That's okay. If he can just be that great defensively.
I agree with him, man. Yeah. Also, it's a starting point, so we'll keep moving from there. Let's bring Ryan McWalters on, close the show. The closer, calling him out.
Yo.
Oh, McWalters. It's been a minute, my man.
Yeah, it has been. Long off season, but good things, man. We were begging for guys like Sarge. Oh, can we please get a Sarge? We get a Sarge. Oh, hey, can we get rid of Jordan Poole? Hey, we got rid of Jordan Poole. We actually have someone that's functional and isn't trying to quit on us and make up stories in the offseason about backpacks and bullshit, because that's all bullshit. But, hey, whatever he needs to do to keep himself up at night, whatever. I think Poole's going to have a decent year over there. I'm not happy for him. I think he's in a great spot with Kuzma and not making the playoffs and having future lottery picks to join him. I think it's going to work out really well. He'll definitely get more baddies over on the East Coast. So I think it's all good. And really, I mean, for us, everyone has been saying the same things. A lot of the season is keyed on Kuminga. And I really hope that beating up all those amateurs up in Seattle really was the truth. And he's actually taken a step. But, give me a month before I believe it. I ain't buying no programs, especially when I grew up seeing those all the time. There's not a lot of talent that's rolling through there, man, even if you get the occasional show-ups from, Crawford and whatnot. It's not really telling you much. But for me, man, I am super stoked for this coming up. I really am. I think having CP3 here, getting that dead roster money, a Pool off our roster, was a huge deal. I mean, that cap problem that's going to be coming up in a couple of years is going to absolutely decimate teams. Teams like the Celtics are only going to have like 2 years to try and contend before they're just in absolute hell. And we're not in that space. We have outs, which I am fascinated about. And even we can flip them. Bring a Brogdon, bring whoever else is in. Use that salary to bring something in if he isn't working. And if he's working, that means we're doing great and we've won. It's almost
shout out optionality, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, that's the buzzword of today. I mean, who knows? This is also complete bullshit. So right? Optionality means I can't decide on something. And me being a Libra, I like optionality because I can't make up a damn mind, right?
Oh my God!
That's the shit with optionality, right? It's just you can't make a damn decision. It's kind of bullshit, and that's Kevin Durant too. Also a Libra, tells you a lot about him, right? Optionality.
Wow.
So here you
what
go.
Does that say about me? I'm a Leo. What does that say?
Oh no, you know what? You know your shit, and it's all really centered around you anyway. So it's all good, man. You cool?
Fair enough. Good enough. Yeah.
But yeah, hey, man, I'm stoked about this season, and I hope everyone else out in here is stoked about the season too. And it's a bummer that Dre's out, but I actually think it's a really good opportunity for Kuminga. And hey, maybe he takes it and runs, and that would be phenomenal for us. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm with you. I'm fully bought in right now. I don't see the reason not to be. Like, look, here's my end take on this. It always bothered me that they tried to be too smart and do the whole 2 timeline thing the entire way through. You know what? They're committed now. They're all in. Will this specific roster work? I can't say. I like certain aspects of it. I also have questions about other aspects of it. But at least they committed to it. At least I know their number one intention is trying to win right now. Whereas last year, I felt like their number one intention was trying to show they're smarter than everyone, which I didn't like in general. So, you know what? I'll take the wins where I can get them. And if they look old and slow and they can't guard anyone mid-season, we'll have a different conversation. But right now, I don't have to go there. McWalters,
I'm with you.
I appreciate
you. And you look svelte. Looking good.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Right on.
Look great, brother. We'll be back. All right.